Yeah, I have been speaking to a lot of amazing women. We're still at Age Lagos 2024. And right here with me, I have Beatrice Baiden. How are you, ma'am?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Nice to have you talk to us. Nice to have you here in Lagos. Once again, welcome back to Lagos, Nigeria. How has, the environment been treating you?
Well, I think Lagos is a second home because Lagos is a sister city to us. And, Accra has been doing this sort of sister cities and other activities. So Lagos is just a stone throw from Ghana, just about 1 hour roughly by flight to from Accra to Ghana. And the food, I think we have a lot of commonalities. Yeah, so Lagos for me is a second home, and also for the fact that I have some networks here in Lagos, not just not just in Lagos, but also in Abuja. So Lagos, I think, has been good to me. The weather is great, just a little humid, but I think it's similar to what we have in Ghana. So I'm just used to it, and it's been good so far. Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you for honoring us with your amazing self. Mentioning money laundering actually brings me to your panel section. Today's day one, and then we're opportuned to have you as one of the speakers up there today. And we listen to you touch on some critical conversations that has been long overdue, like you said, around the gaming sector. Can you tell us a bit about your session today and how much you think you were able to communicate some standing and existing problems and solutions?
Okay. Well, so one of the areas that we touched on today was on data protection and money laundering. We know that every time illegal operators, illegal players, and sometimes even illegal operators are looking for new avenues to transact their activities. And in terms of financial activities, initially it was real estate. Then they got into cars. Now it's the gaming industry. They're always looking for new avenues to transact operations. And so when it comes to money laundering and terrorist financing, there are a lot more we need to do as both gaming operators and gaming regulators. Regulators from our standpoint is to come up with policies, come up with regulations in collaboration with our stakeholders. Again, I'm laying a lot more emphasis on the stakeholder aspect, because on the operator aspect, because we as a regulator can't just operate in a vacuum. We need to engage our operators and then look out for policies that would be suitable for all. Okay, if our operators don't implement the policies that we come up with, it will be a no job done. That's how we need to engage them, get their buy-in when it comes to policy generation for money laundering. For example, if you come to Ghana, we engaged our operators. We had FATF, that is the Financial Task Force, Financial Action Task Force. Task Force, yes, FATF. Financial Action Task Force, yes. So FATF came in and then did an assessment and realized that, look, Ghana was not performing too well when it came to money laundering. And so we upped our game. What did we do? We engaged our stakeholders. We engaged our operators. And we said, look, we need to be more stringent when it comes to our financial activities. So one, all operators should actually designate compliance officers for money laundering so that you report any suspicious activities in terms of transactions that you actually see. And then they also implement KYCs, that is your know your customer policies, yes. And then they also come up with compliance policies themselves that they share with us to see. Now, the know your customer policy actually enables the operator to know or put a face to whoever is transacting that activity so that people don't just use AI. So here you're looking at people creating valid accounts to play with valid ID. So you collect their ID, which is either a national ID or let's say passport. Those are the ones that usually we require. Okay, so it could be a voter's ID, it could be a passport if you're an expatriate, so that we have a face to it. Now, you need a digital address of that person. Where does the person stay? You need the person's banking information, because when the person wins, you need to make payment. And that's where we also work with the financial institutions. We work with the FIC, which is the Financial Intelligence Center from Ghana. We work with the Organized Economic and Organized Crimes Office also, because criminals are always trying to explore or to be one step ahead of the operator, but we would also not want to slag, but also want to be more abreast. And so in doing this, we work with other agencies, okay, that are into security services, so that they can help us, and then we can also be better positioned. And then our operators would also conduct their activities in a very transparent manner. And then our operators are required to conduct due diligence, customer due diligence, to know who actually is playing what at what time, so that when winnings are done or when winnings are coming and you have to make payments, you know that, oh, okay, I'm not just making any payment to somebody dubious somewhere, but there's a phase to that sort of payments that I am. So these were some of the issues that were discussed. And then when it comes to data protection, under our 1992 Constitution, it guarantees the right of every citizen in terms of data protection. So we, as a regulator, we are data controller. Now, our operators are also data controllers, because they gather people's information. And so we require that our operators, each and every operator must be registered with, we have the Data Protection Commission. It is a prerequisite for a license to be given a license. Yes. So you must be registered with them. And then we also need you to be registered with the Cybersecurity Authority, because remember that internet is one of the tools or one of the avenues of transacting their activities, especially with online gaming. And so you, as an operator, must be able to conduct your activities in such a way that you don't expose the data of the punter or the player out there, because there are consequences if you do that. And so we, as a regulator, we engage our punters, our players, operators from time to time to ensure that they adhere to these rules and regulations. And also we do organize trainings for them on money laundering, on data protection, among others. Yeah.
Let's talk about Age Lagos 2024, and I want you to talk about it from your standpoint of view. You are the head of the Gaming Commission of Ghana, and from your standpoint of view, how important is having summits like this, gathering like this? And I dare say, like, this is the first of its kind, organized by an African in Africa for Africans, and having put this together and bringing everybody, and not just operators and exhibitors, more regulators together this year for a summit like this. From your standpoint of view, how important is a summit like this, and how often do you think we should be having it?
I think this has been long overdue, in coming. Looking at the fact that we share a lot of common challenges, we have common players, common operators, if I should say, common operators that operate across the African jurisdiction, and also the fact that our challenges are similar. And so once we have the same, or we share almost the same operators, we share similar challenges and all that, I think that such conferences should be held often, if possible, annually. We can rotate it even among the African countries, where from time to time, or even if we can start with West Africa, I think that would be great. Where countries in West Africa, every year, we can rotate it among the countries. We can hold such sessions or such conferences, and then bring the operators together with the regulators. Because we as a regulator don't operate as an island. We operate with the operators themselves, the gaming operators. And so we need to meet at a central point, hold discussions, hear from the operators' perspectives on issues. And then as a regulator or as regulators, we also bring our perspectives, look at how best we can all come to common grounds on issues on topical issues within the gaming industry. For example, money laundering is it's a hot issue within the gaming jurisdiction now. We have online gaming activities that is all over, not just Africa, but globally. It's a hot issue that has been discussed. So if we can have the operators come together with the regulators from time to time, and I think also it's important that we don't just limit ourselves to one country or just in country, but we spread across and have all the African countries come together, so that we know our African problems. And then we can identify African solutions that will be tailored towards addressing those problems. Because I don't think that adopting another continent solutions might work for us at home. We understand ourselves better. And the best aspect of it is that if you move from Ghana to Nigeria, we share the same language. We eat almost the same food. We do a lot of things together. If you look at the operators that are in Nigeria, almost all of them, or let's say 80% of such operators are in Ghana. Same way, if you go to a country like, let's say, Cote d'Ivoire, you might find similar operators there. So I think it will be important that from time to time we hold such forums, bring everybody together. What are the experiences from Nigeria? What are the experiences from Ghana? What best practices can we learn from Ghana? What best practices can we learn from Nigeria? How do we share information? Because look, this is an environment or an industry that constantly is evolving. Okay, and so once we are evolving, information sharing is key. Ghana is not an island. Nigeria is not an island. But when we come together, we can work better. We can actually share information and do a whole lot more. So I think that constantly working together or holding such for us would be key to us.
Thank you so much. I hope you all watching this as informed as I am, and everybody that attended this panel section with her today, because it was an enlightening section. And I want to say thank you so much for sharing with us and also for talking to us. I'm going to let you go now because I know you have, to attend to. So thank you so much for talking to us. Yeah, do have a lovely, I hope I get to talk to you again before the summit is over. But for now, thank you so much, Beatrice, for talking to us. Do have a lovely.
It's a pleasure.